Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by for yet another video. I do appreciate that. And as always, I appreciate you. So, what we have here says Melbourne will be very wet place, very wet place on Saturday night, warns the Bureau of Meteorology. So far the storm thankfully hasn't been as bad as they expected, but today, going into today, the rain is supposed to pick up, and there's already been flooding and whatnot. We're going to get into that, but the storm is, which has been not as bad as they expected so far. I guess it's supposed to get much worse today. So let's take a look at this time-lapse video real quick, showing the storm come in from sunshine to when the storm starts rolling in. And as you're watching that, it says rainfall in parts of the Australian state of Victoria have already broken more than 100-year records, but there is more in the storm yet, warns the Australian Bureau of Meteorology. It says senior forecaster Scott Williams is warning plenty of rain in Melbourne on Saturday night, with the downpour expected to ease by 9 a.m. Sunday. Now it says between 20 millimeters and 50 millimeters were predicted to bucket down on the city over Saturday night. I just love how these videos just keep playing. It goes on to say, now this right here is a picture of a road closed on Standish Street in Myrtleford in Victoria, Australia. Said after a day of light drizzle on Saturday, a significant band of rainfall hit Melbourne around 5 p.m. Says there will be a steady substantial rain. We are in a severe weather warning in Melbourne, and we have still river warnings out around in Melbourne, including Yahara and flood watches. So you can see here, this is from the Euroa Caravan Park, flooded after the storms. It says December 2nd, which is today. But the worst is yet to come. It's Saturday here in the States. I'm not sure what it would be in Australia right now, so I do apologize. But it says the rain is expected to ease off Sunday morning, Williams said. It says from 8 to 9 a.m. Sunday morning, most of the rain will have stopped. However, it takes time for water to get down into the rivers and to flow to the lower parts of the rivers where population centers are. It says already there are numerous major flood warnings for Victoria, and this will continue to go on for quite some time after the rain stops. It says on Saturday, Melbourne had the coolest day for December since 2013, with a top of just 16.4 degrees at 2:16 p.m. and a low of 13 degrees. Now it says Sunday will be a bit warmer with a maximum of 18 degrees and a minimum of 13 degrees. Now you can see here people kind of, trying to make the best of it in the rain with all their umbrellas and whatnot. But it says Williams said the state had experienced record-breaking rainfall, with some areas in the north and northeast reaching rainfall of up to 200 millimeters. Now it says rainfall reached 123 millimeters by Saturday morning in Echuca, 223 kilometers north of Melbourne, breaking a 159-year-old record. Now it says in Aurora, 164 millimeters northeast of Melbourne, rainfall reached 146 kilometers, breaking a 132-year-old record. It says officials urge residents in the township as well, further east in Myrtleford, to consider evacuating. So, the worst is yet to come, but they've already had record-breaking rains being dumped, and there is flooding around these areas as well. So even though I'm saying that this storm wasn't as major as they expected, that there is still more to come, more rain to be dropped, unfortunately. So, and they're actually asking some areas to evacuate. So obviously they are expecting this storm to get quite worse. Now it says in Eildon, 139 kilometers northeast of Melbourne, rainfall reached 149 millimeters, breaking the 131-year-old record. Says others at Strathbogie, Stanhope, all setting new daily records as well. Certainly for some parts of the state, that is fairly exceptional. The event is not quite over, and we always watch out for these events for what we sometimes call here at the Weather Bureau the sting in the tail. He says before the low finally moves away, we've still got quite a bit more rain from the northeast. There's a lot of thunderstorm activity and heavy rain in the north-southwest, and some of that will still spill into the northeast. So, like I said, this is, far from over. Thankfully, it hasn't been as damaging as they had expected. They had shut down lots and lots of areas throughout the city, businesses and whatnot, because they expected the flooding to be much worse. So, thankfully to this point, even though they have had set many record-breaking rain in many areas, the flooding and the flash flooding, what have you, hasn't been as severe to this point. But they are warning, some areas to evacuate because it is actually they're expecting it to get much worse. So this is still an ongoing story, if you will. So as more updates come out with this, I'll definitely get that out to you guys. But thankfully, it doesn't sound like there's been a ton of damage, and it hasn't. And this article didn't talk about any loss of life. So I don't know if that is the case or if this article just hasn't discussed that with us. So, but yet again, like I said, as more updates come in, I'll get those out to you guys for sure. I've even seen some channels reporting about strange radar anomalies in this area with this storm as well. But we're not going to get into that. But I do appreciate you guys for supporting the channel and watching these videos. We're growing every single day because of you, so hopefully we can keep that going, and I appreciate every single one of you for that. And but other than that, be sure to share, like, subscribe, and comment down below. I hope you guys have a great day. Peace.